First of all, I would love to say thank you for everybody that came tonight to our celebration. My name's Ella Olson. I'm the activities director here at Superior High School. I'm starting my 6th year. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th Hall of Fame banquet that I've been honored to be a part of. Every year, I think we get more and more people that come. The help that we've received of people nominating and helping with this program has been amazing. We have a very amazing class of individuals. My favorite part is that it's both athletic and academic, and we get to really see what Superior High School and the community has produced, and it's truly an honor to be a part of. So again, it's my distinct honor to welcome you tonight to the 2025 Superior High School Academic and Athletic Hall of Fame presentation. To be inducted here is to be forever recognized as one of the best to ever represent Superior High School. As someone who's been fortunate enough to work with, learn from, and now celebrate many of tonight's honorees, I can tell you that my Spartan pride has never been higher. Before we begin, there are a few people we must recognize for making this event a success. Those of you that could hear it underneath the pack here, let's give one more round of applause for our Superior High School Chamber Orchestra who performed for us tonight. I want to thank again the hardworking members of our Hall of Fame committee. Both our athletic and academic is made up of not only teachers but community members, so that we're really finding the best of the best in our city here and from our past and those that know what has gone through in the present. So a round of applause for those that are on the Hall of Fame committee. Also, I'd like to extend my gratefulness to our engineers and custodial staff. Our building looks phenomenal right now. I think they did a really nice job showcasing the beautiful school that our current students have the great honor to attend. So our custodial staff, they're probably out here cleaning, but we can give them a round of applause right now. And last but certainly not least, a very special thank you to the incredible Hall of Fame Planning Committee who brought this whole event together. Caitlin Knoll, Elise Sterling, and Jan Jago. Thank you. So every person and team we're honoring tonight has achieved something truly extraordinary, and their legacy is woven into the fabric of our school. They are all truly mighty Spartans. Now it's time to hear from the inductees themselves. I asked each inductee to reflect on the people who supported them on their journey, the family, teachers, and mentors who made their success possible. I will now call up each inductee to share those brief, heartfelt words with everybody today. Starting off, we'll recognize our Athletic Hall of Fame inductees. The Individual Achievement Award will recognize and honor individuals who have displayed distinctive, unique, or exceptional athletic accomplishment. Our first Individual Achievement Award inductee is Joel Lindberg. Joel is unable to be here today. He asked me to share this statement. A big thank you to my parents, coaches, teammates, and SHS Athletics. It's quite an honor, and I'm forever grateful for this community, the people, and opportunities I was given. So another round of applause for Joel Lindberg. Our next Individual Achievement Award inductee is Julie Meisman. Congratulations.
Oh, boy. All right, I'll keep this brief like she wants. No, this is an honor, and I'd like to start by saying thank you to my sister Patty for nominating me to the committee, and for the committee for voting me in. And also I'd like to say thanks to my family and friends for being here, because it really means a lot with all your support. And also, it is an honor to be put in this Hall of Fame. I mean, senior high is a great school to be a part of. And I'd also like to thank the coaches that I had throughout the years, Margaret Holy for volleyball, Mike Tucker basketball, and John Rickstrom, Butch Oldevac, Mark O'Brien for softball, which all three of those are no longer with us, but they are a great inspiration. And all these coaches pushed you to be the best you could be, and then some. And that did help me through life. And I just want to say again, this is truly an honor, and thank you very much.
Our next Individual Achievement Award inductee is Rhea Horst.
Thank you so much. All right, here we go, guys. Sorry, my boots are loud. All right. Standing here tonight, inducted to the Superior Hall of Fame, is a deep honor that humbles me, especially standing next to those who are here tonight. Congratulations to you all. This moment is just not about trophies and records. It's about the people who shaped me today into the athlete I am. The truth is, no one becomes an athlete alone. It's the people you meet along the way, the ones who believe in you and push you and sacrifice for you every day, who make the difference. Tonight, I want to share the gratitude for the people who made this journey possible. First and foremost, I owe everything to my parents. They didn't just pass down athletic genes, although I am very thankful for those. They gave me something greater, opportunity. No matter the time, the commitment, or the cost, they were there driving me, cheering me on, and supporting me in every way. They never hesitated. Their belief in me taught me that hard work and dedication could carry me anywhere. Mom and Dad, thank you so much. Also, thank you for giving me an athletic big sister. Taylor, you helped shape me into who I am. You see, Taylor and I, we played the same sports. And although I was kind of her competition, she never made me feel that way. Even though I was kicking her butt in some races, she was there at the finish line to cheer me on, hoping she pushed me to meet my best personal record of the day. I'm so grateful for my family. The first person outside of my family to see something in me was my elementary school teacher, Mr. Leo. I can still see his boundless energy lighting up within the gym with enthusiasm for movement and sport. Mr. Leo didn't just teach us how to run or throw. He taught us that he brought an athletic world to life. Sorry, one second, guys. He brought an athletic world to life with a spark that made every kid feel like they could be great. Teachers like Mr. Leo are the heartbeat of our community. He ignited a passion for speed in me that never faded. His gym was my safe space. His encouragement pushed me, and I'll never forget that. As I grew, others guided me. I want to thank Don Layton, Jim Jordan, Len Albrecht, Bernie Tomzak, and the countless others who encouraged me and volunteered countless hours to coach me as a youth athlete. Their time and dedication showed me that a community strength lies in people who selflessly give for young athletes to grow. When I reached high school, I was fortunate to have an incredible group of coaches. To all my high school coaches, Pete Conley, Sam Berman, Chad Postal, Dan Schultz, Bob DeMeyer, Sean Gallagher, Jason Kalin, and so many more for your guidance, your patience, and your belief in me. You all showed me that success isn't just about crossing the finish line. It's about the people who lift you up. Now this moment, I need to circle back to Mr. Leo. He wasn't just my elementary teacher, you see, but also my high school track coach, and one of the reasons I'm here today. His dedication to me, both on and off the track, was relentless. He demanded my best no matter how much I pushed back, and trust me, I pushed back quite a lot. Whether it was extra laps or tough conversations about integrity and attitude, Mr. Leo never settled for less than what he knew I could give. His belief in me wasn't just about winning races, it was about building character. Thank you, Mr. Leo. Your impact in my life is unmeasurable, and I'm so grateful for you. Next, I want to shine a spotlight on Mr. Phil Rowe. His extraordinary coaching techniques, wow. As a track coach and later my basketball coach my senior year, he brought a lightness and humor to my athletic world. His ability to crack a joke or flash a sly grin could lift my spirits, reminding me to find joy in the grind. He didn't just coach me to win, he taught me to embrace challenges with a smile and to give it my all, no matter what the scoreboard is. I'm so thankful for you, Mr. Rowe. Like so many young athletes from Superior High School, I once dreamed of leaving this town behind, chasing bigger horizons and never looking back. But after serving in the U.S. Army and coming home from Afghanistan, something shifted. As I came down the hill from Duluth, I saw Superior stretched out before me and my heart swelled. I knew that this wasn't just my past, but it is my home. It's where I belonged. Today, I'm proud to be raising 2 daughters of my own Spartan athletes, in this incredible community that shaped me. I became a youth coach myself, and with this town, its grit, its heart, and unwavering support, I'm honored to give back to it today. Thank you to everyone, Ella and Superior community, for having me. Thank you.
Our next Individual Achievement Award inductee is Leah Halverson.
All right, well, thank you so much. It's an honor to be nominated into the Hall of Fame amongst all the other athletes and academics. I want to thank Phil Rowe and Ken Olson for the nomination, and I want to thank all the people who have helped develop me into the runner and the athlete I became. I want to first start by thanking my mom, who would bring me and my brother Shane to the Wednesday night at the races throughout our youth. It was there that we really discovered our talent as runners. We almost won every race of the summer. I also want to thank my brother Shane, who continued to foster my love for running. And he told me when I was becoming a freshman, no, you're not joining the swim team. You're running cross country. Next, I want to thank Dan Conway. He pushed my talent, encouraging summer track meets, weekend long runs, and motivational speakers, all usually accompanied by a sweet tune on his harmonica. Sorry for the crying, I think it's pregnancy hormones. And I want to thank Phil Rowe for keeping track always gangster and helping me discover that the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee existed. If it wasn't for him, I would have never landed that full ride scholarship to run and pursue my career as a physical therapist. I want to thank all my other teammates, coaches, assistant coaches, family, and friends who traveled miles and hours to see me run, and I think they did more sprinting than I did to get the best views of the race. Running is family, it's memories, it's as fun as it is miserable. It's taught me resilience, patience, trust, perseverance, and in the words of Dan Conway, it's taught me how to carry on regardless. Thank you.
Our next Individual Achievement Award inductee is Brett Olson. Unfortunately, Brett is unable to be here tonight. He's still heavily involved in hockey and is an assistant coach of the Waterloo Blackhawks, who open their season tonight. He has recorded a video that we will show right now.
Hello everyone, and thank you for attending tonight's special event to celebrate some wonderful people and their accomplishments through Superior High School. I would like to first congratulate everyone being inducted this evening into the Superior High School Hall of Fame for your exceptionalism in various ways. The recognition of your accomplishments and dedication is well deserved, and I am humbled and honored to be a part of this Hall of Fame class with you all. I regret that I cannot be there with you to celebrate this evening, as our home opener is here tonight in Waterloo. I would like to send my gratitude and thanks to the selection committee for the approval of my induction, and a deep and special thank you to Coach Bob DeMeyer for nominating me for consideration. I'd like to extend a special thank you to my parents, Steve and Wendy Olson, for always being there and supporting me in every aspect of my life, and for providing me with every opportunity to pursue whatever challenge or adventure that I chose to embark on. In particular, for my athletic endeavors in high school, and specifically my hockey career thereafter. I appreciate you and will you vote more than I can ever truly put into words. So thank you. From the earliest days I can remember, when my father was the athletic director and baseball coach at Superior High School, I would tag along and roam the halls, dodging in and out of different parts of the building, running laps through the circle, through the lane, and into the gym, and to take every chance I could get as a young child to partake in these activities. It was in this open access to the high school and its athletic programs that fueled my love for sports and ultimately my passion to become Spartan and bleeding Wayne blue. At the time, in my eyes, the Spartan athletes were the epitome of the totem pole when it came to the sporting world, and there was nothing else more that I wanted to be at that time when I was a young child. When the opportunity came for me to attend the high school, I was more than ready to represent my school colors with every ounce of pride and effort that I could produce. Culminating with the greatest highlights of which were 2 state hockey championships and a runner-up. I'm proud to have been a 3-sport athlete and hope that I was able to be a role model for athletes who would become an athlete. During my time at Superior High School, I had many great teachers and mentors. The culture of our school was top-notch, something that certainly can't be overlooked, as it provided many opportunities not only for myself, but many of my classmates, to be successful and positive contributors to society today. Outside of the athletic accomplishments and sporting background that support my induction tonight, I think it's important to recognize the school organizations that also created a teamwork atmosphere, along with real-world learning and application, such as DECA, Student Council, Spartan Singers, and Superior Rotary Club, all of which I am deeply proud to say that I was a part of. A special thank you that I want to extend to 3 of the people that were involved in these extracurricular activities were Paul Zolber, Mark Campbell, and Rob Kelly. And thank you to all the teachers and staff and organizations who supported us through those 4 years. Your tireless and many times thankless work did not and does not go unnoticed. In all team sports, an athlete can't do it alone, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my teammates and close friends throughout my school years. They helped push me and work with me every practice, in the weight room, every game, and in each classroom setting to be a better athlete and person each day. We were very fortunate to have a very talented group of athletes while I was there in high school, and I still look back fondly at all the success that we had, in particular with hockey and baseball. Even though success didn't quite reflect on our football record, it was the adversity and the hardships and learning through defeat that built more resilience and taught greater lessons in the long run. I would now like to thank a few coaches and figures from my early days when I was a child, roaming the halls at Superior High School, and some others that are related to athletics and a general purpose while I was there. First and foremost, my father, Steve Olson. Everything always stemmed from your guidance and support, and your openness to support me through every challenge that I've had. Former Principal Ray Logic, Larry Hoff and his late son Ryan, Thomas Dell, Larry Cole, Dave Cotney, Mike Sager, Ray Cozy, Steve Verdeen, Jim Ross, Mike Godwin, Don Layton, Steve Micken, and Bob Meyer. My coaches while I was at Superior High School. In football, Rick Kelly, Mark Roselli, the late John Brzezinski, Tom and Jerry Loza, and Brett Vessel. In baseball, Don Dombrowski, congratulations Don, Jesse Smarza, Bob Welch. And in hockey, Jason Kalin, Sean Story, Rob Downs, Matt Christie, and Chris Siskel. Thank you all so very much for what you did for us. And to every new coach I ever had, a very special thank you as well. The impact coaches have on kids as players and people is immeasurable. I was very fortunate to have many great people helping me guide me on my path as a player, and to now carrying me into my current coaching career. Again, there is not enough thanks to go around to truly thank all of you for all the support that you've given me to make this night possible. For all your time and efforts as coaches, I truly, truly appreciate it. In closing, I would like to wish you all a wonderful evening full of great memories and stories, but most importantly, the well-deserved celebrations of each inductee and the great accomplishments for their efforts. I am very proud to be inducted with you all tonight into the Superior Hall of Fame class of 2025. Thank you, and go Spartans.
Our next Individual Achievement Award inductee is Jay Matushak.
Good evening. I'll be brief. Just want to thank some people. First, I'd like to thank Ken Olson for nominating me for this. Thank you, Ken. This is a tremendous honor. Love to thank my family, my mom, dad, brother Chad, and grandparents. They sacrificed a great deal of money and time so I could play hockey growing up, giving up vacations so I could play on teams in the summer, go to hockey schools, driving us all around the Midwest and Canada so we could play in tournaments. I probably didn't appreciate it enough at the time, but now being a hockey parent, I get it. Today we missed last night's game because we're hockey parents. Aaron dropped off our older boys at the airport today, Callan and Grant. They're going to Maine to play junior hockey. My youngest son, Jameson's here. He had his last Bantam tryout in Edina. Just found out he made the Bantam AA team as a first-year buddy. Awesome job. You earned it, bud. Very proud of you because you worked so hard, and that my parents taught me that, the importance of work ethic, a lot of hours studying, a lot of hours shooting pucks, a lot of hours training. And they were incredibly supportive, would pump me up and lift me up when I needed it, and they would keep me honest and humble when I needed that too. This is debatable, but I think they taught me how to be a great teammate and a decent human. Very fortunate to have an amazing family. I'd love to thank the teachers and the school administrators here in Superior. Had amazing teachers at Lincoln Elementary, East Junior High, and here at the high school. I guess it says a little bit about my age. Lincoln and East have been gone for a long, long time. But I remember every teacher along the journey, and I'm very thankful. I went to a very demanding university and have had very demanding jobs throughout my career, and I feel like my great education here in Superior put me in a position to succeed, so thank you. Love to thank the coaches, both for youth and in high school. Youth that had played baseball, football, and hockey, and had tremendous coaches throughout. And I played hockey and football in high school. Certainly not lost on me that I'm not up here because of my football exploits, but I'm going to thank the coaches anyway. That experience was amazing. Coach Mistel and his staff got all the best athletes to play, whether you're a basketball player, hockey player, a baseball player, wrestler, whatever. He got us together, they coached the heck out of us, and I think they squeezed everything out of us that they could. Frankly, I was just happy to be a member on those teams and contribute in any way I could. Thank you for the tremendous memories. On the hockey side, I had incredible coaches in Squirts, Pee-wees, and Bantams, excellent gentlemen, great people, learned a ton, and I had the opportunity to play for Coach Torrance for 4 years here at the high school for starting 9th grade. Congrats, Coach Torrance, on your honor tonight. We thank you for your knowledge, all your time, tremendous memories that I'll never forget. We won 2 state championships, should have been 4, but that's a conversation for East End Tavern later for whoever was going. Most importantly, I want to thank my teammates, friends. On the football side, it was tremendous. I see some of you out there, amazing experience. I'll never forget. On the hockey side, it was a very special group. We grew up together. We enjoyed some very intense success at a really young age and just kept going through high school. We obviously didn't win every game or every championship, but we won most of them. That group was very talented, tremendous athletes. I looked back at the rosters to get my math right. I'm a CPA, so I got to make sure I was right. We looked at the Squirts, Pee-wees, Bantams in high school, and depending on the year, anywhere from 40 to 50% of those guys played Division I or Division III sport, whether it was hockey, baseball, or football. So a tremendous group of athletes, very competitive group, pushed each other on and off the ice during the season, in the off season, and most importantly, good human beings and teammates. Held themselves accountable and held each other accountable to play the right way and do everything you could do for the team to win. I'm standing up here tonight because I was part of that group and grew up with that group. Thank you, guys.
We will now honor our athletic team awards. This award recognizes and honors teams that have displayed distinctive, unique, or exceptional athletic accomplishments. Tonight, we will recognize 2 teams. First, the 2015 boys hockey team led by head coach Jason Kalin.
You don't need these yet. I do. Good evening, everyone. I first of all want to take a moment to congratulate all the inductees for receiving this honor tonight. It's very cool to follow Jay. As a former teammate, congratulations, bud. You definitely deserve it. And to your son, great job, buddy. And to the rest of the nominees, your hard work, dedication, and commitment to your sport, craft, or career have made the Spartan community very proud of you. I also want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this honor and organizing another wonderful evening to celebrate the inductees this year. It is an honor and a privilege to be speaking on behalf of this group here. Not all are here tonight, but hopefully they're watching at home with their life responsibilities of family or wherever they are. We have one in Europe, one in Florida serving in our National Guard, and several others that had family commitments tonight. I would like to thank our nominator, Kelly Nystrom, and the Hall of Fame committee for recognizing this team's accomplishments and honoring us with an induction this evening. This team and their story could have probably been played out in a Hollywood movie. In some respects, it actually did. In others, it was just a true case of character, leadership, perseverance, and grit to do what we set out to do in November of 2014, which was to win a state championship. Our 2015 team had great leadership from its senior class, but it also had a great chemistry between the players and coaches to endure a very tough schedule that we faced that season. Our Spartan community of athletes at that time was strong, and we had an excellent connection between our teams, our coaches, and our high school staff, which carried over to building a winning culture at Superior High School. We always encouraged our athletes to be involved in other sports and stay competitive all year long. And most of these players on our 2015 team did just that. Many of them were on a Spartan football team in the fall that went undefeated in the regular season, only to be defeated in the first round of playoffs by the eventual Level 3 state champion, Menasha. Why is this important? Multi-sport athletes learn how to handle diversity. They build a strong bond between one another, and they learned how to compete, and it played a role in our success that season. You also might be sitting in these chairs today thinking, how in the world is a team with an 8-15-1 regular season record getting inducted into the Hall of Fame? Well, the answer to that question lies within the battle that we endured all season and the belief that these men had in one another to finish it with the championship. As many of you know, we play a very tough schedule in the Lake Superior Conference, and we always try to build a very tough Wisconsin schedule, playing only the best teams in the state. This season was no exception. With games versus top 10 teams in Wisconsin and state tournament-bound teams in Minnesota, we may have been on the losing side of those 15 games with maybe a 1 or 2 goal separation, often giving up the second with a pulled goalie and a push to tie a game. Our team was not composed of electrifying goal scorers, some might argue. We were built around our size, our competitiveness, with a focus on team defense and great goaltending. Although we may not have had it all year, we had it at the right time, playoffs. The second season, as we called it, and with a Hollywood twist. After our final game against a tough Hermantown team, we went into the locker room and discussed our strengths and grit that we showed throughout the season and what we could accomplish in the postseason. Using a line made famous in the 1989 film Major League from actor Tom Berenger's Jake Taylor, his character Jake Taylor, Ryan Hendry and Evan Nelson, our assistants, 2 of our assistants, set the other up and choreographed the scene right in front of the boys. Evan said, "Well, Rye, I guess there's only one thing left to do." "Oh, what's that, Ev?" "Win the whole thing." I skipped a word. I remember that moment very well. There wasn't a head hanging in the locker room and everyone was cheering, and we knew that we had the right attitude and motivation that we needed for them to make a push in playoffs. With 2 big wins against Baldwin and New Richmond, we faced one of the top teams in the state in Hudson, a team we lost to twice during the regular season, once in OT and the other a 4-1 loss 4 weeks prior in Hudson. However, this game was set to be played at Westman Arena, and we knew that we could beat them with the way that we had been playing defensively and with the solid goaltending we were getting from Peyton Flanders. It was an epic battle, back and forth contest with physical play, staying 5-on-5 for the majority of the contest, which we needed to do against a very potent power play. We held a 2-1 lead with only minutes remaining, and the boys made the right plays with solid clears, smart dumps, great saves, and some gutty block shots. With 4 seconds remaining on the clock, I still remember seeing Peyton skating towards center ice, stripping his gear off in celebration, although the final buzzer hadn't gone off yet. Thinking to myself, what in the heck is he doing? But we did it. We beat probably the best team that we'd face in playoffs and earned a berth to another state champion or state title. Once at the tournament, our confidence was soaring, and our locker room took on feels and sounds of an undefeated hockey team. The media hadn't given us a chance, and all they could ask me in interviews is what could I attribute for our fortunate bounces and good luck as we beat good teams in playoffs. I kept reminding them of our strength of schedule and that our team defense that we had to learn all season long, but it still didn't matter. According to them, we didn't have a chance. We had several lines catch fire with some outstanding offensive play in the playoffs, especially our line of Caden Chop, Mark, and Troy Schold, a line we coined as the Holy Rollers. They led our offensive charge, and we continued to play solid defense. We beat Janesville 4-2, Cedarburg 3-0, and faced the number 1 Wausau West Warriors for the championship game. From the drop of the puck, our foot was on the gas, and we dominated the entire game. There was so much chatter in the locker room between periods, we got locked out at some point. I don't even remember having to say anything to them to get them ready for the next period. They were jacked. It was incredible. I remember looking over to Wausau's bench after we took a 4-0 lead in the second period, and the head coach, a very good friend of mine, BJ Brandt, looked over at me in complete disbelief and shaking his head, and I simply just looked back and I went. We capped it off with a shorty in the third period from Preston Machad, his first goal of the season, and it was nothing but a celebration after that. We outscored our opponents in the 6 games of playoffs, 30 goals to 5, earning our school's most recent state championship title and building on our state-leading 15 state titles, 13 of which are in the current WIAA era. It became known not long after the game that this team now held another state record. We are the only team in state tournament history to win a state title with a losing record of 14-15-1. This team, their belief in one another, and their sheer determination to win a championship that season created a legacy for future generations of Spartan hockey players. Never get down and never give up. I'm going to turn it over to our captain, Tyler Nystrom, for a few words.
Hello, everyone, and congrats to all former SHS athletes who were nominated tonight. I'm Tyler Nystrom, and I had the privilege of being picked to be the captain and leader of all these guys up on stage with me. First off, thank you on behalf of all of us as a team for this honor. Thank you to our coaches, Coach Kalen, Coach Downs, Coach Nelson, Coach Hendry, and Coach Toro. This is an incredible honor to be inducted to the Superior High School Hall of Fame. All of us have known each other since we just started playing hockey way back. It was something we grew up together as kids, competing to see who made the A-team, locker boxing in the locker rooms at Saha when coaches weren't around, going on road trips for tournaments, playing knee hockey in hallways of hotels, winning tournaments, all those years dreaming of winning a state championship, and even calling in our Bantam year. I'm proud of all the men we have become, from whatever career path we chose, some of us military veterans, some of us with our own military families, and even starting a family. Coaches, you played a huge role in forging us, not only as athletes and hockey players, but as men. So thank you.
Our second team that we are celebrating tonight is the 1970 boys hockey team, led by head coach Tom Satterdon.
Thank you very much. It's going to be kind of hard to follow that, but I think these guys are up to it. As a matter of fact, I know they are. I don't have a speech written out because I want to talk to you from my heart and want to thank everybody for congratulate the people that have won the awards. Thanks for nominating the group that's up here. First thing I'm going to ask the group that's up here is to line up alphabetically if they can handle it. I got him here. I want him here. You got to be alphabetically now. Figure it out, you guys. Alphabetically. See, that's a tough job.
This could take a while, Coach.
I know that. All right. See, already they're trying to pass the test. All right. Because I want to say a little bit about them. But, okay, I'm going to, like I say, speak from my heart. First of all, I want to thank my assistant coach. Where did Dick Torrance go? I said, get down here. I wanted him right by me. All right. I said, you stay right next to Tommy Arrow, but he doesn't listen. No, the reason why I wanted to introduce Dick is because I realize that any coaches that are successful, they have to have a great coaching staff. And I had Dean Rolberg the first 3 years I was here, and then he'd had enough of me, and so I went out and recruited Dick, and the rest is history. But before I talk about each and every player up here, I went on to coach hockey. I've coached 38 years, and what I learned here at Superior Senior High School is my 3rd through 7th year of coaching was what it took to win. I was never associated with a group of kids starting the first year I was here through the last year, my 4th year, with a group of young men that worked so hard, that were so determined, that never gave up. Compete. You guys, you don't know how many times I've used you in stories to my players that have played for me at Jefferson. I mean, I would bring up, I think my players have heard the Dave Arrow story 100 times. You'll hear that later on. But anyway, and I use Dave's name. But anyway, what we had here is the same thing when I got to Bloomington Jefferson. We just continued on. These guys, they'd have an hour to hour 15 minutes down at the old rink at the curling club, and we'd work on skills. We'd come back here, and we'd skate outdoors and play pump pull away and tag, and we'd play ships across the ocean and everything. And all of a sudden, we'd have about 3 hours of ice time, and everybody was having fun. And we even involved Peter Susans and Rhino, and we had a lot of fun. I had a great time. I got in shape. But anyway, I also want to thank my wife and all of you. Jason, you know this. I mean, you got to have great family, great people around you. And by the way, Jason, congrats on the great job you guys did. But again, you players that were here in 2015, I think you owe these guys a lot too. So when I go through, you're going to find out. We got on the bus one time, went to Fort Francis and played during a school night, and got back here and had to be in school at 10 minutes to 7. And they were all there, because if they weren't going to play the next weekend. So they were disciplined. They never said, I can't do it, Coach. I won't talk about the games. I've got so many stories to talk about. I could go on and on and on. But it's about the players. And again, I want to thank Dick for being my right-hand man. And I'm going to start out alphabetically. I can remember these guys. I might not be very smart, but I can remember players' names and what they've done and what hand they shoot, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Tommy Arrow was our goalie. Step up. Just step up. There you go. All right. Tommy was one of the first stand-up goalies that I coached. I mean, he could stand up and let the puck hit him and wasn't afraid of anything. So thank you. Okay. Now, why don't we hold our applause? Hold your applause till last, because otherwise, the next guy I saw this guy as a tall, gangly dangler. He thought he was Bobby Orr plus, but he wanted to play defense, but I thought, no, he's not tough enough to do that, but he could score goals, and he was smart. So Bob Berg, step out here. And look, he's not little anymore, but Bob was a dangler, and he was always in the right place all the time. Everybody wanted to play with you, and you don't know that, but everybody kept coming up and saying, "Can I play with Berg?" And I kept saying, "Just take it easy. I'm coaching the team." Okay.
I say to make that up.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. And the next person we have up, okay, Dave Erickson, right? No. Yeah. Instead. Peter Instead. So.
My brother.
Huh?
That was my older brother. It was a family.
And, yeah, I know. Yeah, right, exactly. You're Dave Instead, because Pete was the captain my second year. Yeah, and this is Dave Instead, and he was a defenseman that just loved to hold on to the puck, and sometimes he'd get hit, and he didn't like that. Sometimes I'd make him sit down and miss a shift, and he didn't like that. His dad didn't like that, but that happens, you know. But anyway, Dave, David, thanks a lot. Okay. Next guy. This is a true power forward. You know, if it wouldn't have been for Dave Erickson, Greg Rodgers probably wouldn't have had any goals. Between Joel Rush and Dave Erickson, Sam just had to sit in front of the net and shoot the puck, because these guys took care of everything. And look at this guy. I mean, he was a true power forward, and he wasn't afraid of anybody, and he typified the grit that Superior kids had. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Yep. The next guy, Greg Leon. This young man, I saw him develop so much. Unbelievable. He became, actually, I think he was an All-American defenseman at Superior, at Wisconsin Superior, and was an outstanding player for us. And block shots, move people out in front, and he had a knack. I could see that he was going to be an outstanding defenseman, and he really proved it. Thanks, Greg. Okay. Next guy, this big guy. He was the biggest guy in our team. Chuck Mizia was so quick and so fast, I didn't even remember him at all. No, you reminded me, remember Rick Frost? Frosty? That's who you reminded me of. See, I got this. Rick Frost was our captain the first year I was here. But Mize went on, outstanding player. He made Dave Arrow what Dave Arrow was, again. But anyway, Chuck went on to Michigan Tech and then finished up at St. Scholastica, right? Is that right? Yep. But had an outstanding career. Thanks. Next guy. Oh, boy. Sam Rajanen. So I've been in contact with Sam a lot because he's been down in the cities. He was a teacher, coach, everything else. I first met Sam through his dad, who had to teach me how to coach because his dad knew everything. Am I right, Sam? Because if I didn't have the right lineup out there, I'd hear it from Sam's dad. And I said, I'm coaching the team. You just take it easy. But Sam was a real clever, outstanding center iceman. And again, because of those two outstanding wings he had with him, made him, I think, probably, I think he was all-state at the tournament team. But outstanding year, and he's an outstanding man. He's been around hockey a long time. He knows a lot about hockey. Thanks. Next guy is Joel Resch. Joel used to be a power forward. Now he bikes 70 miles a day, and he's about how many pounds? 30 pounds lighter, maybe? About that, yeah. But he was a football player. His dad, Jerry, was one of my close friends as a football coach here, and a great relationship. And the relationship I had with their families and all these guys, it's just been outstanding. Thanks, Joel. Timmy. Okay, Timmy Sullivan. We got Timmy on waivers from Cathedral because they closed their school. And he fit right in. And was any place I wanted to play him, he'd play. And was an outstanding, very, very clever, very good. Right-handed, right? Yep, yeah. No, really an outstanding player, an outstanding young man. Okay, thanks. Peter. This is another thing. I surrounded myself with not only great assistant coaches, but I had outstanding managers. Because if I didn't have an outstanding manager, Peter Susans was so organized, and obviously a lot of you know Peter because he's gone on to coach hockey here in Wisconsin and won a couple state titles, but was our manager. And he kept me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that. Thank you, Peter. Next guy, this big, look at this guy. He looks like a center iceman, doesn't he? Yeah. Brent Thompson, big center iceman, great hands. He's one of our best face-off players we ever had here. And also, actually, one of the better ones I've ever coached. Did a great job. Thank you, Brent. Next to him, Dean Wellman, right? One of our captains. Dean's a clever defenseman, smart, get the puck out of the zone. When Leon was struggling a little bit, he'd give it to Wellman and get out of the zone. Thank you, Dino. Last guy that I want to say something about is a young man that meant a lot to me because over all the years, Dave hasn't had, sometimes he's had some tough things, but he is the epitome of a competitor. We've been talking back and forth, and we've been emailing and texting back and forth. And like I say, I've told this story to my players at Jefferson, that you guys don't know what it's like to compete until if you would see pictures or videos of us at Superior. We're playing in the state tournament the first year we go down. And we're playing against a team that didn't like to lose, and they didn't really know the hockey game that well. But they sure knew how to run it, people. And the game was like, I want to say 5-3, and we're winning. And it was late in the second period. And, of course, Mizia and Thompson, set up arrow for just a tap-in goal. But before David could do this guy takes a forearm shiver, hits him right in the head. David is out cold on the ice. But before he hits the ice, he's laying prone. Puck comes to him. He slides it in the net. I go out there. He didn't know he scored. To this day, he doesn't know that he scored. But, yes. That's the type of leadership that I found here in Superior. And I can honestly say this. I've had players win the Stanley Cup, 2 of them. I've had players win the Hobey Baker. And this guy, I would put him as a leader up against any of them because David, in my heart, I found out what a real leader was because he's the reason why we're all together today. And Dave, I want to personally thank you. And I know all the guys are, I don't know if you want to say anything, Dave? No, well, you don't know how many times he texts me and say, Coach, do you have your speech written? I don't write things down. I just talk from the heart, David. And anyway, I just want to thank everybody here. And I know it's getting late and everything else, but thank you very much. I know all these guys appreciate it. And they set the groundwork for my success. Thank you.
Kevin, good job, buddy. Thank you.
Our next Athletic Hall of Fame category is our Coaching Achievement Award. This award honors career achievement in coaching. It recognizes individuals who have made positive contributions that support and promote athletics. We have 2 coaches to celebrate tonight. The first Coach's Achievement Award recipient is Coach Bill Getty.
Well, this is quite an honor, and I'm very, very excited to be here. First of all, I want to congratulate all of the other inductees this evening. And I'd like to thank the people that have nominated me, Paul Kenley, Jim Ross, and Sandy Bailey. Well, I know I'm supposed to keep this to 5 minutes, but it might be a little difficult to fit 55 years into 5 minutes, but I'll do the best I can. Well, this crazy unofficial journey began when I was 10 years old. One Saturday afternoon, I came in the house after playing with the neighborhood kids, and I made the mistake of turning the television on, and I saw professional wrestling. Well, I was a 10-year-old impressionable kid. I thought it was pretty cool, and I fell in love with it. I was immediately hooked. So I started to learn all the techniques, the step over toe hold, top wrist lock, figure four leg lock, Boston crab, and so on. Oh yeah, I hear the chuckles out there. And just a second, I'm losing track here. But pretty soon I started to teach the other kids in the neighborhood how to wrestle. So we played wiffle ball and football and all the other sports, but we also wrestled. Well, after a while, I got pretty proficient at it. And before long, I started to lose my wrestling opponents. So I had to go out I had to venture into other neighborhoods and to try to find kids to wrestle. So I did that for a few years. And then in the fall of 1970, I'm sitting in homeroom here in this building, and there was an announcement. Any boy interested in going out for the wrestling team, there's a meeting at 3 o'clock. Holy cow. There's a wrestling team. So I couldn't wait till 3 o'clock, and I ran down and joined the team. Larry Hoff was my first wrestling coach, and that was the official beginning of my 55-year career. Okay. I went on to wrestle at UWS for legendary wrestling coach Mertz Mortarelli. I've got two of my teammates in the audience tonight, Brad Izzard and Charlie Stoffergen. They're here, and I appreciate the fact that they're here this evening. And then I began coaching in 1977 up here at the high school. And I did that, and I coached junior high and middle school wrestling for a lot of years. But in 1991, I took over a struggling wrestling program here at the high school. And in those days, it wasn't cool to be a wrestler. And so when I took over the program, we had an image problem, and we had to change the culture. And by the end of the third year, we won the first tournament in the 28-year history of the school. And then we started beating teams like Cumberland and Ashland and Spooner, teams that we had never beaten before. And soon we were having conference champions and more regional champions, sectional and state qualifiers, 100 and career match winners, and state place winners. And one of them is here this evening, Ross Kenley. Okay. And we even had an undefeated state champion in Niko Bogojevic, who went on to be a superstar, and he's still a superstar with the WWE. And Niko called me this morning to congratulate me, and he wanted to express he was very, very sorry that he couldn't be here this evening because his obligations with the WWE, and where Vince McMahon tells him to go, he goes. And so he had to get on a plane this evening at 6 o'clock and go to North Carolina for an event. But I think the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we built a solid foundation for wrestling here in Superior. 5 years ago, some parents asked me if I would spend some time working with their kids. And so we started the Superior Wrestling Academy. But soon we started getting kids from other communities. We got them from Northwestern and Duluth and from the Proctor program in the surrounding area. So we rebranded to this Lake Superior Wrestling Academy. And our kids are very, very successful, and we're having a lot of success there, and that's a lot of fun. Okay, so where do I go from here? Well, I'm 70 years old. And next week I begin my 56th year on the wrestling mat with my UMD wrestlers. And then a month later, our academy will start. And we'll have a very, very, very busy winter for sure. Okay, let's see, look at me, fumbling through my cards here. Okay. I'm really, really blessed. I feel blessed to be able to continue to be on the wrestling mat, and I'll do it as long as I'm physically able to do so. But there's one person here this evening that I need to thank, and that's my wife, Terry. And she's been with me for 40 years. Oh, I'm getting a little choked up here. She's been with me for 40 years on this journey, so she's seen it all with me. And even to this day, when I come home from practice, she'll meet me at the back door and she'll say, "How was practice tonight?" And most nights I say, "Good, really, really good." Thanks, folks. Appreciate it.
The second Coach's Achievement Award recipient is Coach Don Dombrowski.
I think maybe next year, like we see in baseball and softball, we should have some walk-up music for the people as they come up here. It's a long walk. It took forever to get up here. And if I known there was a chance to make a video tonight, like Brad, I probably would have done that too here. But yeah, I didn't know. So I got some notes here. I'll do the best I can. I speak in front of a lot of kids every day at school, and so this is a little different. But I'll take a breath, do my best. I see one of my students right there, Bauer, and so here we go. First of all, congratulations to all the other inductees, and I know everybody else has been saying this too. My wife and I have been coming to this thing forever, and every year we're really impressed with the amazing accomplishments of our alumni and community members. It's really cool. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for allowing me to be here tonight. I like everyone else too. I'm honored. I'm humbled. To be included with such people, and quite honestly can't help but feel a little undeserving too. In some ways, and I've told people this too this last few weeks, that I feel like that kid that just brings his glove to the park every day and eventually gets asked to be on the team and play. And so, not that I was expecting it, but it's excited to be included, and so it's really great. Thank you to the group that nominated me. There's like a whole team of people, and some of those guys are here tonight. They're colleagues and friends, and I know they had some real homework to put things down and get things in order to make me presentable, and so thank you to those guys. That means a lot. And so when I was thinking about what I talk about tonight and reflecting on it, starting in the summer, while my wife's busy working and I'm bike riding or doing whatever because I'm not in school, a couple things came to mind. One thing that came to mind for me was baseball by the numbers. And if you're a baseball fan, baseball's filled with lots of great things, from the simplicity of the box score, which I still look at, and to the more advanced analytics today, like launch angle and how many feet per second somebody's running and how much a ball's moving horizontally and vertically, and numbers are really cool, a cool part of the game. And of course, as a coach, numbers were always really important to me too. We kept statistics, and we tried to present things to kids to try to motivate them and share records with them. We used numbers to make team goals and season goals, individual game goals, and so I thought that numbers would be something that I could talk about tonight, because there's a lot of numbers that ran through my mind over the course of 2+ decades. But there's more to baseball than just numbers too, and it's about the people that you're surrounded by, and the players, and that whole supporting cast, and it's those players that you think about the most. And high school sports it's a perfect laboratory for learning life lessons, learning about winning and losing and commitment and sacrifice and love and all those character traits. And the longer I coached, the more purposeful we became at trying to do some of those things. And so And we did a lot of different things, community service and little skits and activities and partnering up older guys with younger guys to try to build some team unity. And one of the things I could ask kids to do that was a simple lesson was to ask them to share and express an attitude of gratitude in life. And that became important, especially when, a player's in an individual slump or the team's in a slump, to kind of put life in to find that perspective, that silver lining. And so that's what I thought I'd do tonight. I would try to combine some numbers with an attitude of gratitude. And so I have some numbers to share with you folks. Quick disclaimer, I am a history teacher. I do rely on YouTube now a lot, more than I did when I first started teaching. I'm not a math teacher, so the numbers are to the best of my ability, my records, and my memory, quite frankly, and the help of some others too. So here we go. The first number I got is 260. And that's the all-time varsity and junior varsity roster from my first year as an assistant coach with Steve Vergeen to my last year. There's no repeats on that. I had all the books out, all the rosters out this summer, and made that master list. And anybody that's into coaching, has coached for a while, really knows that, at least for me anyway, I found more joy in seeing players be successful and work through hardships and achieve things than I ever did in my playing days of college or high school or Little League Babe Ruth or whatever. And so that's where the joy came from, is all those kids and all those student athletes. Some went on to play baseball after high school. Some got into coaching, whether it was the collegiate level or the high school level, or I see some of these guys that have their own families now when they're coaching. And I'm just so thankful to see that today. It's a great feeling too when I run into these guys in the community at a restaurant or a park or whatever, and social places, and I love it when they come up to you and they greet you and they call you coach. And every coach out there knows how great that feels when they remember you that way. And so I'm thankful for all those players. Next number is 22. And that's and this one maybe a little asterisk by, because there might have been a couple others that were at the JV level too. But 22 is our list of managers too. And in the very beginning of my career, I was a little bit hesitant on team managers. And well, it'll be a distraction. I got my other kids; they can do the book and the stats and all that. But man, they added so much to our programs. Those managers helped organize things. Cheer players up, encourage people, do the stats and keep the numbers, and it just brought more kids into the fold too, and helped more students build relationships with other people in our program. And so I'm thankful to those managers. My next number is 21, and that's the number of assistant coaches that we had over the years. And over 2 decades, to me that's a pretty small number. But to me, that speaks volumes to the kind of people that they were, and how dedicated they were. And I certainly wouldn't have been around as long had it not been for all those great assistant coaches. And I purposely decided not to name too many names tonight because I know I'd forget some, even if I had them written down. But I am going to call Jesse Samarja over there. Jesse was with me the longest, and I had to lean on Jess this summer too. When I was going through all those rosters and stuff, and especially the JV rosters, and Jesse didn't know what I was working on, but I said, I need some help with things, and so he looked into his books, and Jesse's just been a great addition to our school district. He's still coaching football, and he's still dedicated to kids today, and I can't wait to see Jesse up here someday. The next one is kind of more of a way to try to have a shout out to a group, and the number is around 896 I came up with, and I coached almost 450 games, and so that's the number of guys that worked as umpires at our games. And while I didn't agree with them all the time, those guys had thick skin. They're hard workers. They love the game. They love youth athletics, and without officials, we don't have high school athletics. And I still see some of those guys today as I work at basketball games and football games, and they're still out there and they're still giving back, and I appreciate those guys too. The next number is 20 plus probably, but that's the number of youth camps that we had over the years. And while the youth camps were stressful at times and time consuming, and I literally hit one kid with a bat one time. And I gave him a free hat at the end of the clinic. But I was trying to demonstrate something. So it was stressful at times, but it was also a way to recharge the batteries and to rejuvenate myself and to see my players who I thought weren't listening to me half the time actually teaching another younger group, the future Spartans, along the way. I had great satisfaction with that, and I'm so thankful that we had all those youth camps over the years. Next number is 2, and that's the number of alumni games that we had. And you know, as coaches, sometimes you say, well, I don't have any regrets, or people in life will say that. Well, that's maybe one of them. I wish we would have done a few more of those. I wish I would have thought of that earlier. And then we got a couple in, and then COVID came around, and so maybe Coach Hendry we'll be able to start that up again. We had over 75 players over those couple of years, and it was a great way to meet and hang out with and be on a field with a bunch of Spartan athletes from multiple generations. And once again, I'd leaned on my current players to help out and be around and see that tradition. And it was a great experience, and I'm thankful we got to do that. Speaking of wishing we would have done this a little sooner too, but the next number is 5. And that's the number of Orlando Invitationals that I got to be a part of. And that was a great way to honor Coach Orlando. I got to meet him and his wife Peggy and spend some time with him. He spent some time at our practices, and you know, he threw out the first pitch at that first one. His grandkids threw out the first pitch at others, and it is nice to see Coach Hendry continuing that tradition, and I hope it stays that way. My next number is 4, and that's the number of athletic directors and principals that I got to work with and for, and I'm thankful for all their support with scheduling and buses and field times and equipment issues and opportunities to grow as a coach. Some, you know, helped me with the baseball side more, others with, you know, aspects of coaching the total athlete and character building, and those principals too, because you always have issues in the classroom from time to time, and you need those principals to support you. And I got another little +1 on that section too for Josh Noble. Josh spent a lot of time with the program too, and he was kind of an assistant activities director when he's around here, and most of you know that as well. From, you know, he and I spent a lot of time together too. All right, next is a 2 with a bunch of pluses behind it, but we had 2 main trainers while I was here, and then many more that filled in along the way, because, you know, we have multiple events going on at the same time. And and I'm so thankful for all their help over the years in keeping our kids healthy and getting them back on the field as soon as possible. We're getting closer. Okay. Next is 2, and that's for my parents, Don and Linda. I hope they're watching. They're in San Diego right now, and of course they're the ones who kind of supported my love for baseball, signed me up, got me to games and practices, and attended games, even when I was coaching, and you know how cold it is coaching baseball around here, and if you've ever attended your kids' games in the spring. That's, I think, one of the things that kind of contributed to my retirement. I got tired of wearing long underwear in April, and sometimes it seemed like in May too. I always had a winter cap and gloves in the bag. It was tough at times. Anyway, thank you to my parents for being there, and like I said, coming to all those games. The next number is 3, and 3 is for my home team. That's my family, and that's Sharon, Robbie, and Maggie, who are here today. And Sharon she and still is our head coach at home. I wouldn't let her look at the speech, so I hope it's not too bad, because usually I run all things by her. She's from getting dressed to pretty much everything. She helps keep things together at home and always has, especially when I was in the mix of coaching and the kids were younger and involved and running in a bunch of different directions. She was my therapist, a sounding board, a supporter, a voice of reason, an assistant. She helped with registration at youth camps and making sure my kids gave the right shirts to the right people, and a person who was good at keeping me in line. So thanks, Sharon. Robbie is here too tonight, and he was always a little gym rat and a field rat, and was on the field with our teams probably before he should have. And but the kids are always good, and I think that was a good learning experience for our teams too, to be around younger people. And later a bat boy, and of course was in the program for 4 years. And so I'm proud of him. And it was one of my highlights to get to coach my son in high school. And it's kind of cool that he still plays baseball today down in the Twin Cities. And so we get to watch him once in a while in the summer too. And I'm looking forward to seeing him as a parent, and with him and his wife Jackie. Okay. And then finally, Maggie, always understanding and always fiercely independent. We made her, she got dragged along to a lot of games when she probably didn't want to. And I remember she would be reading books and playing with dolls and things instead of, watching the game. But who could blame her? I guess it was probably cold and she was in the car. But she never complained. And I know there were times when I was late to an event or didn't make an event of hers, and she never complained or, made Dad feel bad about it. And I like to see that maybe just a little bit of me rubbed off on her, and that she's a teacher today too. And so proud of her too. And all of you as coaches know that your season is not just what the WIA calendar says it is. It's all encompassing. It's sometimes when you get home and you're there, your mind's not always there too, because before you know it, you're taking out something and you're writing down a note about the next practice or the next lineup. And so I'm just thankful for my family at home too, that allowed me to do this for over 2 decades. And then finally is number one, and then I got 2 number ones on there. Number one is just my faith, and thanks to God for all the gifts in my life. And without Him, without God, none of this would be possible. And I've said this to other people and thought this for a long time, that someday I'm going to meet my Maker, and God's not going to care about how a kid threw a curveball or turned a double play or any of those things, but it's going to be more about what'd you do with the opportunity you had to work with young people. And I tried to do the best I could with that. And then finally, number one, I of course just want to thank the Superior School District for providing me with this career, this opportunity. I'm still teaching here, and I spent 2 decades coaching baseball. But I also coached youth lower level basketball for 7 years, and I don't know. I'm bad at keeping track of numbers. I know Mr. Jim Hogan's here today. He's really good at remembering numbers, but it's probably close to about 15 years of working in football games and basketball teams too, and football and basketball games. And I just enjoy being around Spartan athletics. It's provided me with an education. I'm a product of the Superior School District. My wife is, my kids are. They had great educational experiences and received scholarships. And I'm just proud to be part of a relatively small fraternity of baseball coaches here at SHS or SSHS, depending on your tenure here. But it's pretty cool that in 60 years, it's a pretty small group with Coach Ron Orlandi, Coach Steve Olson, my coach, thank you, Steve Regine, myself, and now Ryan Hendry, my former player and who's doing it now. And so thank you, everyone. Go Spartans.
Our next category in the Athletic Hall of Fame is the Community Employee Volunteer Award. This award is presented to a person, company, or organization that has made a positive contribution that supports the athletic mission of the Superior Community Schools. This year we have 2 incredibly worthy individuals being inducted. The first Community Employee Volunteer Award inductee is Carrie Olson.
Good evening. It's kind of hard to sit here for this long of a time and you go over your speech and you're like, oh my gosh, I could have added this, I should have changed this. That was really good. The video was really good. But here we go. I am truly honored to be standing here and accepting the induction into the Superior Hall of Fame. I can promise you this, that when I started volunteering, teaching, and coaching, it was never in the hope of being recognized. It was simply to give back and make a difference in the lives of others, just as so many people have done for me. I grew up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, where I attended the La Crosse Boys and Girls Club throughout my childhood years, playing sports and being coached and mentored by some amazing people. The summer that I graduated from high school, I started coaching and then off to college, and I quickly found my passion in teaching and coaching. My adrenaline rush used to be playing sports and being a part of a team and winning, and now that adrenaline rush is really, for me, the feeling of giving to others what was given to me, and most importantly, being a part of something greater than me. 12 years ago, I joined the Superior Basketball Association to coach my son Robert's basketball team. What began as a way to support him quickly grew into something much bigger. As a teacher, coach, board member, and now the president of the Superior Basketball Association, my passion was always the same: to give back, to make a difference. To me, service is about advocating for our youth, surrounding myself with people who truly care about kids. And the belief for me is together, everyone achieves more. I want to thank Jesse and Brooke Taylor, Phil and Janelle Rowe for this nomination. Thank you to the Superior Hall of Fame Committee and the Superior basketball community. This honor is not mine alone. It belongs to every single board member, past and present, family and friends who have supported me along the way. It is a gift to work with people and surround myself with such amazing people. To my children, Robert, Tyler, and Michael, my mom, my dad, my sisters Shannon and Lisa, and especially my husband Jeremy, thank you for your patience, love, and encouragement. It is my pleasure to accept the honor on behalf of all of you. Congratulations to all the inductees this evening. Thank you.
Our next Community Employee Volunteer Award inductee is Jed Carlson.
It's a long walk from up there. Well, I want to try something a little different right now. Typically, if you're going to see me, I'm never the focus of when you usually are going to see my face. So I want to give you a little something to look at while I'm talking. Feel free to focus up there. Mrs. Sterling, are we ready? Okay. Well, I had a heck of a time thinking about what I wanted to talk about. On some levels, I questioned if I was, even doing my job correctly. My job should be to document what is happening as a fly on the wall, recording the history as it happens. So if I was doing my job correctly, you wouldn't know who I was. And I definitely would not be up here right now. I'd be sitting in the seats back there taking photos of everybody else that's been up here tonight. One point in time, many years ago now, Superior was just the place where we would turn around after we went over that big bridge when we were vacationing in Duluth when I was little. Then about 25 years ago, I got my first job here. To put that in perspective, we were still shooting film at that time, so it was a while ago now. I have to thank Rick Lubbers. He really talked the bosses into giving me a chance and hiring me. I feel fortunate that I get to work at a newspaper that values sports as much as they do here, because I know that is not the same everywhere in the state. For over 20 years, I got to work with Hall of Fame reporter Kenny Olson, who is definitely one of the largest advocates and fans of Superior that you're ever going to find. For almost, it'll be 25 years in February that I have been what I would say the visual caretaker of Spartan athletics. And it's a role that I take very, very seriously. I'm starting to see now, basically, parents that I photographed over 20 years ago. I'm starting to shoot their children now, and I know that both are Spartans, both are equally as important to their families. I really want to thank Ella and Ray for making my job a lot easier at all points in time. I want to thank the Hall of Fame board. I want to thank Kenny Olson for nominating me. I want to thank all the Spartan coaches that I've worked with over the years, many of whom I've had the opportunity to photograph when they were Spartans themselves. I really want to thank the thousands of Spartans that have worked their tails off to represent our city and school. I want to thank Reagan and Jamie and Maria and Shelley and everybody at the Duluth Media Group that I work with now. I want to thank everyone that subscribes to the Superior Telegram and the Duluth News Tribune. It's because of you that I get to continue to do my job today. I need to apologize to my sons, Oscar and Henry. Sorry for the amount of times that I've missed things because I've been shooting photos of other people's children. Henry isn't here tonight. He's on the 8th grade football team that is currently playing in Ashland right now. So hopefully they're doing well. My dad's here tonight. Dad, raise your hand. Sitting back there. If anyone's ever gotten an all-area shirt, it's my dad that has designed those shirts, so mildly famous back there. I also want to thank him and all of the rest of my family that made it up for my hometown. Caitlin, I want to thank you for everything. I've got one last thing. My favorite thing that I get to do at the school is I get to come every single day and work with the students of the Spartan Spin. That's the high school newspaper. I get to meet so many students that I would never get the chance to meet without the Spartan Spin. I want to thank Andy Wolf, Lene Bosley, Heidi Siegfrieds, Krista Kalin, and Elise Sterling for allowing me to continue to volunteer in class. At the end of each school year, I try to say the same thing to the students. I want them to know that one day they will know how to do something better than everyone else, and they need to help others learn how to do that same thing. Basically I'll say to them, I want you to make wherever you are a better place because you are there. Thanks to everyone, and I feel truly honored. Thank you.
Did we get through them all? Awesome. All right, we're going to move into our academic Hall of Fame honorees. First off is our Lifetime Contribution Award. This award is presented to a former employee, volunteer, company, or organization that supports the academic mission of the Superior Community Schools and has made positive contributions to the education of our students. We have 2 inductees this year. Our first Lifetime Contribution Award inductee is Len Albrecht.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. As some of you know, public speaking isn't my favorite thing to do. And many years ago, before having to give the welcome back to school speech to the entire district staff, I mentioned to Ray Cozy how nervous I was. I've never forgotten what he told me, and I've even passed it on to others through the years. He said, "Len, no one has ever complained about a speech that was too short." So with that in mind, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to congratulate all of the other inductees tonight and their accomplishments. I'd like to thank Chris Kintop and Laura Gabsky for nominating me and the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me. To all the board members, the superintendents, all of the administrators, and all of the staff that I've had the pleasure of working with over my 23 and a half years, thank you. However, we need to remember that the board may have set the policies, but the real work and successes happened at the schools and in the classrooms. Most importantly, I need to thank my wife, Annette, and my kids, Jake and Katie, for allowing me to take the time away from them to be part of the Superior School Board for all those years. I'm humbled to be inducted into the Superior Hall of Fame and never saw this coming 25 years ago. In the fall of 1999, after a PTA meeting at Bryant Elementary, Derek Simonson asked me if I would be interested in running for the school board. I told him I'd think about it. So after I attended a few meetings and discussed what the commitments were with a few board members, I decided to run. There were 3 openings in 2000, and I received the 3rd highest vote total. I locked up the 3rd spot by a whopping 4 votes. Who knew it would last another 23 plus years? Like the other teams honored here tonight, a school board is a group of individuals working together to form a team of sorts. We didn't always agree, but we all had the same end goal, and that was to do what's best for the students in the school district with the funds that we were provided. During my time on the board, the teams I worked with had some difficult decisions to deal with, ranging from COVID to even closing some schools. We also had many successes, and they included 4 new schools. Those were Northern Lights Elementary, the middle school, Cooper Elementary, and the high school. But the project I am most proud of was seeing the NBC Spartan Sports Complex come to a reality. As former Superintendent Janice Stevens said, our students deserve to have the best facilities available, and I believe we accomplished that. Whether I'm coaching students on the field or spending time in the board meetings working through policies and procedures, it was and still is about doing what's best for the kids. Thank you again for this wonderful honor.
Our second Lifetime Contribution Award inductee is Raquel Stocky.
There's a story behind that. Good evening. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Superior School District and all the people involved in making tonight special. I am humbled by the honor of being inducted into the Hall of Fame and being recognized for my community involvement. I owe a lot of credit, if not all, to my wonderful team of employees, friends, family, but especially my heart family. All these people go along with my crazy ideas, and they help me pull them off. Excuse me. Together with my employees and coordinating with other local businesses and our community supporters, we have put back into the community approximately $50,000 plus, with over $15,000 going directly back into the Superior School District itself since taking ownership of the store in fall of 2018. These numbers do not include all the sponsorships, fundraisers we participate in, meals or supplies prepared for emergency personnel, and donations made anonymously to people and organizations who are simply in need. When I am thanked and asked why I do so much for the community, I usually just say thank you. Honestly, I don't do it for the recognition or even the thank yous. I am a firm believer in treating people the way you would want to be treated. I believe that knowledge is power, and kindness is just as powerful. As you can see, this very well-loved little lamb here, this little lamb is one of the reasons I continue to do what I do. This lamb, whose name is Cloudy, was given to me last Christmas by 4-year-old Tansy. Tansy had learned that and was really embracing giving rather than receiving for Christmas. Her mom had told her that they were on their way to come to the store to give us a Christmas card. Tansy would not get ready to go until she dug through her toy box, picked out Cloudy, and wrapped her. She insisted on me having a nice present because she liked what I do. I told Tansy I was honored she trusted me with Cloudy. And if she ever needed Cloudy or to hug Cloudy, just let me know. As you can see, you never know the impact you can have on a person, and that is why I do what I do. Once again, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee, the teachers, board members, and all of the faculty at the Superior School District for the honor of becoming a Hall of Fame member. With this, I will leave you with a quote from a song. It's not what you take when you leave the world behind, but what you leave behind when you go. Thank you again.
Our next category is the Academic Lifetime Achievement Award. This award goes to an inductee who is a graduate of the Superior Community Schools and has met and demonstrated high academic standards, made substantial contributions to their community, achieved distinguished levels in a chosen profession, or made exceptional contributions to mankind. The first Academic Lifetime Achievement inductee is Robert Larson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here and sticking around. There's only 2 of us left. Hopefully you can make it. Ella was very, I would say, insistent on coaching us to stay within 5 minutes. So I will do that. And I've written down what I'm going to say, which I don't normally do. But if I don't, it would be probably 20, 25 minutes. So let's begin. I think it's been a great program so far, and it's fantastic that everybody gets honored in this way here in Superior. And I'd like to thank Ella for pulling this together, you and your team, and also the committees, the nominating committee, planning committee, and thanks to the Superior High School and sponsors for hosting the event. I'd like to begin by congratulating all of this year's inductees. There have been so many great stories and fantastic accomplishments. Congratulations, everyone. One more round of applause. I'd also like to congratulate my brother. His name is Tim, and he was inducted here 2 years ago. So I'm sure there's more than just 2 brothers in the hall. But since we are brothers in the hall, I think my parents should belong in the hall. I'm very honored and humbled to be here tonight, especially after starting at the local McDonald's restaurant on Tower Avenue in 1973 at the age of 16 while a sophomore at Superior Senior High. Whoever would have thunk that my first job would have lasted more than 50 years? I chose McDonald's over college because I thought they were going somewhere, and I just loved working there. Their principles, values, great people development, and training told me that I could make a career there. So I started. I became an assistant manager in 1975 in Superior. This is going to be a 30-second rundown of my career. Head manager of my own restaurant on London Road in 1979. I became an area supervisor of Superior, Duluth, and Cloquet in 1981. I was 24 years old. McDonald's was a place of opportunity. I oversaw McDonald's in northern Minnesota, North Dakota, and Montana beginning in 1985. By 87, I was professor at our regional training center in the Twin Cities. In 89, I was offered a position to open a headquarters in Denmark to oversee McDonald's in Scandinavia. This was a big chance. We accepted, our family accepted, and we moved to Copenhagen. Our daughters were 3 and nearly 9 months old. This was a 3-year assignment, 3-year commitment, but it turned into 32 years living abroad. We loved living and working abroad, so in 1996, accepted the challenge to open the headquarters in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So we moved to Dubai, and we're there for 12 years. At this position, I oversaw the Middle East and Africa for McDonald's, a total of 18 operating countries. Our daughters graduated from the American School in Dubai. We then moved to Hong Kong in 2008, where I oversaw McDonald's in Asia. In 2015, we moved to Tokyo, and were there until my retirement in 2023. I retired as chairman of the board of McDonald's Japan. I was truly blessed to have such a long and exciting career with such a great company. Having the opportunity to live and work around the world was truly amazing. If you ever get the chance, do it. You know, I wouldn't be here if not for some very important people. First of all, my parents. My mom's not here, maybe she's watching on TV, but my father's here. My dad, K.O. Larson, here tonight, still going strong at the age of 92. My dad always supported me in my decisions and instilled in me a strong work ethic and the discipline to pursue excellence in whatever I did. Those things paid off, and for that, I'll be forever grateful to that. Thank you. And then there's Sally, my beautiful wife of 48 years. She's here too. She's been my rock for all 48 years, especially those 32 career years living abroad. She always stood beside me, supported me, gave me encouragement, kicked my butt. I would not have achieved what I have without her. I love you, Sally. And thanks for everything you've done for me. Then there are my 2 biggest accomplishments. Our 2 daughters, Alicia and Danielle. No father could be more proud and thankful than I am of these 2. Both are beautiful. Look at them. And brilliant. They have loving families with 2 daughters each. So I have my lucky 7, I call it. My wife, 2 daughters, 4 granddaughters. Thank you for nominating me, Alicia, for this wonderful honor. Thanks also to my other family and friends that are here to support me tonight, including my sister Wendy, my sister-in-law Chris, and my brother-in-law Ed. Thanks all so much. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Superior and Superior High School, Superior Senior High School, I should say. And of course, I love Superior. So go Spartans, and thank you very much.
Our second Academic Lifetime Achievement Award inductee is Lieutenant General Scott Ployce.
Well, good evening, everybody, and it is not lost on me that I'm the last thing between you and the door. Unfortunately, we're going to go through 58 years of life. I'd like to thank my mom for giving birth to me. No. Hey, thanks, everybody. Honor and a privilege to be here today. I would be remiss if I didn't start with a couple thank yous, as everyone else did. First, to Ella and the entire team for setting this up. What an absolutely wonderful event. I also want to thank Mr. Jim Hogan for nominating me. I graduated in 1985 from Superior Senior High School, and I've had the opportunity to have a 36-year career in the United States Air Force. They say that the military builds character, integrity, patriotism, work ethic. We do a little bit of that. But it's friends, families, mentors, and teachers that actually train you to do that. It's done at the dinner table. It's not done in military ranks. One of the things that I've had the opportunity to do throughout my entire career is have a chance to have selfless service due to the fact that I have an amazing group of friends. Those are the friends, 411 folks that graduated in my senior class back in 1985. Those are also some of the friends' families that took care of me during those time frames. So a shout out to a couple of my best friends, Tracy Hansen, back then, now Tracy Banks, Rick Manor, but more importantly, not just to them, but also to their moms and dads that took care of me at that dining room table as I was growing up. I also would like to thank, in this case now, my family itself. To my wife, Jennifer, 21 moves in 36 years. To my 3 children, who are all in the United States Air Force, not one of them had served with less than 2 high schools. And I couldn't be more proud because they let me do what I get to do each and every day. And then finally, I'd like to thank the teachers. There's a group of teachers from Superior Senior High School that are no longer with us. They had an impact on me that unfortunately I never had a chance to say thank you to them to their face. I've been deployed, I've been gone, I've been in and out of Superior so many times, it just never was able to close. They know who they are, but there's one that I really need to call out, and his name was Mr. Ford. You see, Mr. Ford was the marching school, or the marching band teacher. And obviously, I would not be standing before you today if I did not know how to march. It is an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity to be with the fellow inductees today. Thank you to the board for selecting us. I would also like to say thank you to all of you for allowing those of us in service, for those of us that wear the uniform, and the families of those that wear the uniform to be able to live in this amazing country. Thank you very much.
I would just like to again thank every one of you that came here today. Your support of everything that is Superior Spartans is just tremendously appreciated. Every day, every time we get to sit here and listen to it, I think it's so amazing. I'm looking at a few student athletes who are in here right now, and I know that the impact is huge. So I appreciate that and all your kind words. Again, those tickets for those complimentary beverages at a couple local businesses, please stop by, support them for all they do for us. Amazing business owners we have in this community. Again, from all of our amazing staff here, our Spartans, we thank you so much, and we hope you all have a great, wonderful night. Thank you.